Hi everybody, who would like to kick us off?
Tom, you've had your hair cut.
It looks good, it does look good. Sure, kick us off, Tom.
Thanks. I was invested. I wanted the performance. I was more interested in that than I was anything else, because I felt at the Emirates when we played them, we really let ourselves down with basics. And I thought we started the game the better. We were aggressive, particularly winning our first and second balls. I thought, listen, we haven't got a striker. I had to play LJ, who's been sick all week, up top, and ask her to do a job for the team. And I thought, well, she had a tremendous game. But this isn't about LJ. The whole team were absolutely tremendous in everything they did. I think about Ev Perisset, who sometimes had a tough time with Caitlin Ford. I thought she was outstanding tonight. Really, really outstanding. Midfield pairing. Yeah, like, better team won.
I think I'm right in saying that means you'll go through your whole shot and as you're winning every game from the league that you play at Stamford Bridge. What does that mean as you leave that on the second point from the league?
Do you know what? I just loved there being a big crowd. I really did. I love seeing the away section. I love the whole rivalries that come with, you know, the women's game. It's growing. It was fun to see, you know, an Arsenal section sold out, and then the rest of the stadium. There was a noise to it. There was an atmosphere. I think it improves the product. We've taken a while to get to this point, and my commercial manager texts me saying, I promised we'd get to this point, and I want to be able to say well done to them, because I know how hard it is. Everybody's sort of like being compared to Arsenal off the pitch, but the realities are, to develop a cohesive plan to sell out stadiums takes actually a large amount of time, and they'd been coming in to meet with the players almost like quarterly to explain the plan and the process. And I think tonight we saw, how do I put it, like the fruits of their labour, and I know they're really happy about that. It makes the players feel better. It felt like a home game, and everybody said, hey, you know, Chelsea don't want to play top teams in the big stadium. We do. We just want it to be full. I'm really proud of the whole club tonight.
Just to ask you about WSL too,
she was outstanding.
You got written tonight from yesterday about the fact she'd like to tweet to criticise some of the things you said yesterday. What have you spoken to her?
Yeah, of course I've spoken with her. I think it's important, you know, and this is all I'm going to say on it. I want to be clear to everybody in the room. I don't want to create any more clickbait headlines for you guys, sorry. I think sometimes that becomes the case when we have honest conversations about things. So, of course, I'm disappointed about that. Of course, you know, Jess and I have had a conversation today, as I have with other players within the team. They know exactly who I am, and they know exactly what my intentions were. But I have to expect that I'm supposed to be the most well-trained, non-clickbait headline coach, and I let myself down yesterday. I didn't think it was right for me to use the term inappropriate for the players. Nonetheless, I think when we have honest conversations about these things, I don't take those things back, but I have zero criticism of any player in my dressing room for anything, their professionalism, for what they've given to the club, regardless of their status and regardless of who they're in a relationship with. I've been unbelievably supportive of all of the players. I've, you know, been a champion for equality and for equity. I think, sadly, this has become, you know, a topic that's blown up in an unnecessary way, but I cannot control social media, nor do I wish to. But I do want to say that I have an unbelievable dressing room, and you saw tonight in the performance of everybody, they were extremely focused on the things that matter. And as I keep saying to our players all the time, even if we have disagreements in life, we mustn't play them out publicly. We must have them conversations with each other, because I think it's an important thing you should do in a workplace, and everybody understands that. And I think you saw from the performance tonight from the team that everybody, you know, is absolutely invested in what we're doing, and, you know, tremendous performance from everyone, including Jess.
Emily, congratulations.
Thanks.
You spoke there about clickbait. And
Yeah.
Inevitably, a lot of people were going to take away from tonight the fact that Arsenal turned up with the wrong socks.
I was delighted.
But I mean, is it embarrassing that you're putting out a product like that, seen around the world, quality sport, and a silly error like that happens? Is it kind of undermining what you're trying to achieve as a sport?
Because who I am, I'm telling you this now, I'm not going to throw the kit man under the bus. He is going to be feeling terrible this evening. It's a mistake. It's a mistake made regardless. He's a new guy into the position. Please, don't slaughter him. It happened. If we would have had blue socks, and if this was an away game, we would have had white and blue. But because it was a home game, we knew 3 weeks in advance we'd be wearing white socks. We're the home team. But because we didn't have blue, I couldn't just say, don't worry about it, we'll put the blue socks on, because we didn't have them. We are also in a day and age, God knows why, they cut everything out, holes, you know, there's a whole process within all of that. So, listen, I was delighted to see lion crests on Arsenal's legs in the first half. Maybe that gave my players motivation, I do not know. But, listen, it's an earnest mistake, and something that poor guy's going home tonight feeling pretty crap. And as we know, and I say this considering my day, I'm certainly not going to pile in on him. Definitely not.
Emma, congratulations. I thought Lauren James was great today, and she looked like she was enjoying herself. She even gave you a little squirt in the face with a water bottle. What did you make of her performance?
It's a playground for her out there. We coach many, many different players. Lauren is a maverick. It's not always perfect. It's not always on point. It's not always consistent sometimes in every element of her game. But I'll tell you this much, I understand that person. And I know that when we get to Stamford Bridge, she will 1,000% perform for the team here. You have to realise she'd been sick all week. She came on against Everton last week. She wasn't very well. She was sick all through the week. Came out for one training session. I said, look, you've got to go up top. We don't have another striker. And she did her job out of possession, her and Nuskan. You could see we were in a block. You don't need me to tell you all those things. But I thought she played with joy. I thought she played with freedom when the ball came to her feet. I thought she played with... She can carry the weight of the crowd. She knows she's an important player to the team. But I thought she put a shift in again out of possession, and I know for the players behind, they really appreciate that when it happens. Yeah, and I'm happy for her.
When you come to Stamford Bridge, there is always that step up in performance. Do you wish you were here even more?
I said it before. Everybody says, "Oh, Chelsea don't want to play big teams here." It's not the case. You know, I love Kingsmeadow, but I've always wanted a packed Stamford Bridge. Like, you want it. For Arsenal, it felt a home advantage for them. Tonight, it felt like a home advantage for us. So that's why I want to give special credit to the people off the pitch for putting people in the stands, because that's our record attendance. And we talk about, you know, the successes of Arsenal, and of course everybody should mirror that. Those successes, they've been unbelievable off the pitch. But tonight, I think it should be a celebration for all the people off the pitch at Chelsea to fill the stands, because it really, really made a difference for the team.
Thank you.
Susie next.
Emma, I want to ask you about Lester's performance. Centre back at the weekend, and then forward today gets 2 goals. I mean, that's hugely impressive. But how does that epitomise what your squad is capable of?
I have to be clear, she doesn't want to play centre back. We really rate her there, but she doesn't want to play there. And it's not to say she won't. But Khadijah Buchanan's an experienced international and has come back, I think, playing games in the Gold Cup. You know, Nat's calf just hasn't quite made it. And I think Khadijah came in, did a tremendous job. when you play with Lauren James, who wonders, she's the 9, CO's job had to be to keep some sort of depth for us and some sort of stretch. I thought she filled in really, really well in the central areas because Lauren was linking play. That's not always easy because if you play Kankovic's tendencies is to go lower. So if we'd have had LJ lower, Kankovic lower, I thought we wouldn't have had a threat on the back line. And I think Kankovic is playing really, really well. But for those reasons, we played Nuskin in that position. So at least, I mean, listen, she scored a goal off her arsehole. She scored a goal. Well, she did. It's like the jammiest. Stuart said to Denise on the bench, we've got the rub of the green tonight in terms of our finishing. And Denise said, what does that mean? She's American. She didn't understand the rub of the green comment. I felt it was the same at Emirates. They had 3 shots, scored 3 goals. We had 3 shots, scored 3 goals. However, we probably could have won 5-1 tonight. You know, but you almost have to get in. You have to take your chances to get into the position where you got the momentum. And I thought Nuskin has to deserve huge credit for being in the right place at the right time, even though Canwood takes a shot. It's a terrible shot. It hits her leg and goes in. I mean, Yo-Yo said to me it was going bottom corner, but I weren't so sure. But no, credit. Nuskin is, I feel this way about all German players, but Shoka is someone who is, she's growing in stature. You see her importance to Germany, but her importance to us to be able to play in all those positions. She's zero fuss. She'll do whatever the team needs. Fantastic player.
Sandra.
Congrats on the win. You talked about Chelsea's standard, and obviously, you know, before the game, people were looking at the number of players that were out injured. But how pleased are you that the team were able to deliver this with the attack that they've got and what have you, and also just in terms of the title race and doing it here against Arsenal?
Maybe it's something I'll reflect on in years to come, but we seem to do really well in adverse situations. Like, it's been a tough period, it's been a tough day for us. But we're good at this. We know how to do this. And that's what I say to you, if, you know, I can't control headlines, I can't control all those other things. But trust me, that team is 1,000% together in what we're doing, and that was demonstrated in the performance. And I think tonight's performance will give the team a lot of courage.
Hi, I was just wondering, you mentioned it, the first thing you mentioned was the game in December, and I kind of put it to Jonas that it was almost like the exact reverse.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering how much of that is kind of a mental thing going into the game, or is it something completely different that you can't really put your finger on?
I don't know, you look at the injuries we've got, maybe they did underestimate us a little bit. I do not know. But I don't think you could ever rule out a Chelsea side. Ever. We haven't won these titles without suffering or struggling. We know how to do it really, really well. And sometimes, yeah, I've said it before, we've lost 3 number 9s. Like, we've lost a ton of centre-backs. I have to play with what I've got. And when you've got a adaptable, versatile group that take on tactical instruction and deliver it with the most intensity, I'm hugely proud of the whole squad tonight, because that weren't easy. You're trying to win at home in front of a record crowd when you're quite depleted on the back of the day we've had. That's what Chelsea is. Brilliant.
Hi, congratulations on today. Just wanted to speak about Hannah, because I mean, she was a standout today, really did some incredible saves. And a few weeks ago, obviously, you spoke about how she needed to come in for injuries and like step up, and you changed the way that you played for her.
Yeah.
How do you think she's developed throughout the past few weeks for Chelsea?
I mean, I say this as the future USA coach. England are so lucky. I really loved my time with Hannah. I said to her yesterday, I wish we had longer. I really enjoy her company. I really enjoy her journey and her story, her backstory. She's someone who we talked about, like, why Chelsea for you? I think she could have had the pick of many clubs, but she trusted me. She trusted me in the vision I had for her, and I remember watching her play one day many years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when she was at Birmingham, and I said to Stuart, I love this girl. She's going to be a top goalkeeper. And he's like, well, she needs this, she needs that classic goalkeeper statements. I said, I love this girl. She is going to be a top goalkeeper, and I genuinely believe Hannah has all the abilities to become the best in the world in her career. I do. And I love her spirit. I love her mentality. I think she's had a tough time, and she came to Chelsea and she's fought really hard, but she's blended in really well. And she's someone, I said to her tonight, you know, this is what Chelsea's about, performances like tonight. And she said, Emma, I've always been a Blue. It's always the club I wanted to play for. I have, you know, so much pride to put on this shirt, and I think it shows in the way she plays. Really, really brilliant.
Charlotte, please.
Ooh, far. Should put my glasses on.
You said you understand Lauren James. What are the key things you need to understand about Lauren to get the best out of her?
Do you know what? Maybe you should ask Lauren that. But most people in our environment tend to come to me to deal with Lauren. Our physio, Laura Bettinelli, is another. I do really well with maverick players. I think if I look at the course of my career, I maybe, you know, I don't know why, but I just deal really well with that type of player. Can I relate to her as a Londoner? Maybe. Yes, some of the things, I think we get on really well. We're really close. I try to teach her all the time little bits that are really, really valuable along the way. She's not easy to manage. Serena would say the same thing. Serena and I work together to try to get on the same pages for LJ, and you know, I think Serena and I's relationship has been top in terms of managing that. Like I said, I think you just got to put people in the right positions to be able to perform, simplify their roles. Sometimes I don't think I'm going to get it all of the time from her. I wish I could. That's the next step. But I think she's played so many more minutes than last year and at a higher level. Sometimes I think we all expect extraordinary things from her and don't get them. But tonight I thought she was just unplayable. She was unbelievable.
Do you enjoy nourishing that talent with those Mavericks? Is it kind of a challenge?
Not when I get a phone call at 11 o'clock at night when I've got my head on the pillow and, you know, I've got some whatever. You know, she doesn't always understand her boundaries with certain situations, and if she wants something, she can be extremely demanding. It might be her now, actually. It's only Cliff. It's the associate editor. He wants another couple of clickbaits from you. Yeah, do I enjoy nurturing it? I won't lie. I love LJ. I love that kid, and she can be infuriating. She can be infuriating sometimes for her team, but I love her.
And just a word on Enquires.
Oh wow, what a performance!
How have you improved that quality of performance though? Because it wasn't there when she first joined. There's been a notable increase.
It's all down to her. She is so diligent. Her and Jelena Kankovic, they are two top pros. They come in every day. They work at what they need to be at that level. I don't think she's enjoyed some of the performances she's had against top players. She's worked at it. She's learned what she needs to do for someone who isn't that quick in certain situations. She put the same performance in against Hemp that she did against Caitlin Ford, and I think once you see Ford leave the pitch, you know the fullbacks had the better of the evening, and I think we should talk up her performance, because I've seen when there've been difficult afternoons for her, and that's a real credit to her character, and she's a real top professional, one of the best I've ever coached, and everybody in our staff team will say the same. Ev Perisset, Jelena Kankovic, probably the two most unbelievable professionals in our environment.
Just lastly, very quickly,
Marin. Maybe groin, maybe adductor. 1 to 2 weeks. Maybe next week. It might be the week after. Same with Nat. Calf. Maybe 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. Marimielda, longer. Millie Bright. Don't think we'll see Millie before international break. Concussion. Really bad concussion she took in the training environment. She took a ball to the side of her head. The concussion protocol has meant that she's got another extended period. She was available to play a day before training, maybe at the weekend. She took a really, really bad ball to the head.
Last one from Sophie, and then we'll finish with Kit.
Congratulations, Emma.
Hey.
You've spoken a lot over the years about readying Chelsea for success and
Yeah.
putting the pieces together. Maybe with you leaving at the end of the season,
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about that. But this time performance tonight, big crowd, big response after how it went at Emirates.
Yeah.
Does it feel like job done? Because I mean, and commercial as well, to have so many fans in the stands. Does it feel like you're kind of ticked through so much?
I've given everything to this football club. I've given everything to the players. I've given everything to the league. I've given everything to you guys. I leave with a happy heart about what I do. I don't need to beat Arsenal tonight to feel any better for it, but it's really nice to do it. Like, you know, I'm happy for the players, because you get humbled like you do at Emirates. Like, the players know it. They know it themselves. I could feel it for them, and the dressing room was really lively because the performance lived up to what it is we talk about every day in our environment, and like for those reasons there. That's the Chelsea way.
And even though you are leaving, does it feel like this is the best place the club has ever been in? And you can leave and you can just relax? Well, until you start the new job.
I mean, listen, whoever takes this job is extremely privileged. I'll say this like as honestly as I can, even if it like sometimes it's like maybe I talk too much about things to you guys. Maybe that's something I have to reflect on. Maybe I'm too honest. Maybe I should be a little bit more like that, because I feel like I've had a bit of a hammering from you guys the last 24 hours. But whatever. What I will say is I'm leaving a really lovely dressing room, really lovely people, and what we talk about and pride ourselves on is like taking care of each other and looking after the right things. And they had a really good team meeting this week about like speak up. If you have an issue with anyone, speak up, own up, take responsibility for yourselves. And like at the end of the day, we're in charge of what we do for the rest of the season. And listen, there's fallouts every day in every environment. There's disagreements. There's all of those things. But one thing I will say honestly is even though they're there, don't ever think for 1 minute that it's a crisis in our environment. I'm all about, let's bring the elephants out in the room. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's be honest. Let's be earnest. Let's be adult about it. And don't shy away from difficult conversations. And I think coming through today, I know that the dressing room continues to live with the things that I've drilled over a long period of time. And even though it's difficult, like, this is what makes us. We've come out the other side. Now let's go on and win something.
Final one from Kit, please.
Hi Emma, can I just check how close Lauren was to not playing today, or maybe not when you made the call to play?
Like I said, you know, you report on the things that I maybe give you information on. Trust you me, like, probably that much. Probably that close.
Will you say you got the socks?
I mean, the socks was a brilliant story, because at least for fucking 20 minutes they could talk about them and not about me and Jess. Thank God.
Thank you.
See you later, guys.